Stand 2. On July the 28th, President Zelensky went to the White House to see President Trump, and the agenda was 2 items: Patriot interceptor missiles and reviving the peace process. Tonight I want to walk you through what that meeting produced, and then what happened afterward. And I'm going to be careful about the join between those 2 things, because the join is where people get sloppy. First, understand why it was interceptors and not something else, because this is the part general coverage skips. Russia has been striking Ukrainian cities with ballistic missiles. Ballistic missiles come down fast and steep, and the Patriot interceptor is the only weapon Ukraine currently has that can reliably stop one. Not mostly, only. And Ukraine is critically short of them while those strikes intensify. So this was not a shopping list, soldier. It was one item, and there is no substitute for it in the inventory. Now, what came out of the room? A Ukrainian delegate's assessment afterward was this: very good-natured, but still vague. And Zelensky himself put the requirement in one sentence: the main thing we need is missiles for air defense. Read those 2 lines together because they are not in conflict. One describes the temperature of the meeting, the other describes what the meeting was supposed to deliver. Good-natured is the temperature, and vague is the delivery. And here is what vague means when the subject is air defense, as opposed to when the subject is a trade agreement. An interceptor is a physical object. It is a rocket, in a canister, on a launcher, in a battery, with a crew standing next to it. Either that object is in the launcher when the ballistic missile comes in, or it is not. There is no partial credit. Warmth in a room does not put one there. An encouraging tone does not put one there. A license, a plan, a framework, a good relationship. None of those things intercept anything. Only the interceptor does that. Then Russia launched a large-scale ballistic attack. The reporting has it killing at least 8 people, including 2 children, and injuring at least 30 more across Kyiv, Lviv, Kryvyi, and in Poltava Oblast. And I'm going to give you the detail as it was filed, because rounding it off would be a kindness to me and not to them. 2 girls, aged 5 and 12, and 4 adults were killed as a result of the strike. Now the honest limit on my own argument, and it is a real one, so listen to it rather than the drum. I am not telling you that meeting caused this strike. I am not telling you interceptors Ukraine does not have would have stopped these particular missiles, because nobody can know that. The claim I am making is narrower than either of those, and it is worse. The shortage was named out loud in a meeting in the morning, and it was demonstrated on 4 cities that night. Those are 2 separate facts, and I am putting them next to each other, not welding them together. There is one line in the reporting I cannot improve on, so I will just hand it to you. Setting refineries aflame in Russia does not protect the Ukrainian cities that have run out of Patriot interceptors. That is the whole after-action in a sentence. Striking back is not the same thing as defending. Offense makes headlines, and it makes the enemy pay, and none of it puts a rocket in a launcher over Kyiv when the ballistic missiles are already inbound. So the after-action. The meeting was warm, the requirement was stated plainly by the man who needs it. The answer, by his own delegation's account, was vague. And air defense is the one file where vague has a body count attached, because the thing being discussed is not a policy. It is a rocket that either exists in a launcher or does not. When somebody tells you a meeting went very well, ask them what came out of it that you could put your hands on. If the answer is a tone, then nothing came out of it. File it. Dismissed. I'm Mark, and this is Pixel Politics.